everybody! Welcome to another week of Maker's Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and thank you for joining me for another week of your crafting escape. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. Now let me just make sure that I am live here on Facebook so that you guys can follow along with me today. If you are joining me live, make sure to comment, say hi. Let me know that you're joining in. It's always fun to see where everybody is joining me from each week. Now I'm trying to see if I'm live. Oh, there we go. Let me enlarge that. If you're watching, make sure come and say hi. Let me know where you're watching. Like I said, it's always fun to see where everybody is joining me from this week. If you're watching replay here on Facebook or on my YouTube page, make sure to comment and let me know that you were able to join in as well. Like I said, I hope you all had an amazing week. I spent the weekend really busy with our Christmas in July Stampin' Bingo. We had our in-person event on Saturday. 14 people came to in-person Stampin' Bingo. And then we had our virtual Stampin' Bingo yesterday, which was just as fun, and we had friends joining from all over the country. So it was definitely a great time for some Christmas in July Stampin' Bingo. Now, this is my customers' favorite event that I host, and I do it 4 times a year. I have one more time left to join Stampin' Bingo this year, and details on that will be released in September. But mark your calendar, October 2nd for Fall Stampin' Bingo in person, and October 3rd, virtual Stampin' Bingo. No matter where you live in the United States, you can join in and play along with me. It's a lot of fun and we have a great time. And this time we had some amazing Christmas cookies that were created by a local bakery here in town, and I definitely will be ordering from them again. They were so good. I made sure to order myself an extra when I placed the order. All right, hi, looks like I'm live here. Hi, Billy, hi, Penny. Hi, Janice, it's great to see everybody. So today I'm gonna be creating 2 Christmas in July Stampin' projects for you today. Now these feature new products from the July through December mini catalog. That debuts in 1 week from tomorrow. I cannot believe that August will be here next week. It's so crazy to me. So it is definitely back to summer here in Tucson. We've had about 4 days of rain last week and it was crazy monsoons, but it definitely feels like it's back to being normal temperatures here in Tucson. So like I mentioned, 2 projects today. This is our Christmas in July Maker's Monday, where I'll be creating these projects featuring a mid-century flair. Now, if you're not too familiar with what mid-century modern is, it's basically a throwback to the 1950s, when everything was retro pinks and greens and blues. So definitely gonna create 2 projects today that feature non-traditional Christmas colors. Of course, when you think of Christmas, we think of our garden green, real red, cherry cobbler, and even evergreen. But today we're going to be featuring Blushing Bride, Misty Moonlight, and Mint Macaron. So 3 non-traditional Christmas colors that worked perfectly together. All right, so a couple announcements before I jump into our projects. Let me switch the camera here. The first is I announced this morning the return of my holiday card club. This is a really fun event that I host every year, and it is a 4-month long card club. You can join in each month, or you can join us all 4 months. If you do register and for all 4 months, you'll get to shop with $25 in January. Looks like my camera, it might be lagging a little bit. If it is, I have this all recorded, so it will be available after I'm done here via replay. So the Holiday Card Club, it is August, September, October, November, and that ensures that come December, you are all ready to go for your Christmas cards. This is both an in-person and a virtual event. Again, no matter where you live in the United States, you can craft along with me. It is virtually via Zoom. So we will have a live event for crafting that evening, and each month you'll craft 6 holiday cards. It's 2 each of 3 different designs, and you will go home with $15 worth of product each month that you can craft with at your own time. In person is $25 a month. If you want to craft with me virtually, it's $35, and that does include priority shipping. To register, stampinblondie.com, you can go under the classes tab, or it was posted today on the main page. Registration deadline is August 10th. There will be limited seating for the in-person, of course, and then virtually anybody can register for that. And as we move forward, all in-person events are, of course, contingent on COVID restrictions. So if you are interested, Holiday Card Club, this has been a great success that I've had over the past couple of years, and I'm bringing this back a month earlier this year so that come December, you'll already be ready to go with your holiday cards. So August, September, October, November, all details are on stampinblondie.com, and there will be a link at the description of this video after I'm done tonight so that you can register and learn all of the details about that. Also, a reminder that my summer online creative retreat is still taking registrations. This will be held on August 28th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Man, I can't talk today. 10 a.m. Pacific. So this is an online only event. We will be featuring the Pansy Patch stamp set. So this has all these really fun flower and floral designs. If you're interested in reserving your kit for this, details on stampinblondie.com. Registration deadline is August 7th. So coming up very soon for my summer online creative retreat. Speaking of classes, on my website as well, under the class tab, I have all of my classes set from now until the end of the year. Of course, all of these are subject to change due to product availability, but right now I have everything from online card classes, in-person card classes, holiday card club, online retreats, a full day in-person retreat, wall decor classes, Stampin' Bingo, stuff your stocking for 3D treat boxes and bags come Christmas time, and everything in between. So stampinblondie.com, at the top classes tab is a link to this PDF that has all of the details about my classes. So everything is contingent on product availability, of course, but we will move forward as everything is good to go. Next up, today I'll be creating 2 projects from the July through December mini catalog. My first round of shipping these out is going out tomorrow. Unfortunately, I ran out of the bags that I put my catalogs in, and so I had to order more. And so those will be going out, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. So the new mini catalog, half of my shipment's going out tomorrow, the other half later this week. It will include a copy of Celebration catalog as well. This runs August 3rd through September 30th. If you're not too familiar with what Celebration is, for every $50 you spend, you get to choose a free item out of this catalog. And there's some great things in here. Well, I can't show you the inside just yet. You can see some of the fun products down here on the bottom. So if you aren't working with a demonstrator and you haven't placed an order with me in the past 6 months, you can click the link in the description of this video once it's done to request your own free catalog. So if you haven't placed an order with me in the past 6 months, you'll want to fill that out. If you have, or if you've attended one of my events, you don't need to fill it out. I already have one reserved for you. So that is coming soon. Now, our 2 projects today feature products from that holiday catalog, and I have them right here. This is the stamp set called Whimsical Trees. This actually comes in a suite with a, let me grab it, here it is. So the suite comes with, this is the entire thing. You can order it as one suite, you can order the bundle or any of these products individually. Now, two of these projects here today, I am featuring something for what I call Prize Patrol. So if you are new to me and if you have never watched my videos, welcome. I'm Stampin' Blondie. I go live each Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. But I have something called Prize Patrol, where each week, all you have to do is share my video and you can be entered to win Prize Patrol. So last week, we made some really fun projects with the Pansy Patch stamp set and bundle. And the Prize Patrol last week were bumblebee trinkets and a roll of bumblebee gingham ribbon. Now this week, our Prize Patrol winner is Lana Irby. So congratulations, Lana. I'm not sure if you're watching. I haven't seen you come through here just yet, but congratulations to Lana Irby. She is our winner for Prize Patrol last week. Now this week, our Prize Patrol is 2 items from this suite. So these are the new Snowflake Die Cuts. And you can see, I can tell that this iridescent is coming through on the camera. I'm so happy you guys can see this. So these snowflakes are gorgeous. I love this iridescent. It's like holographic paper. Very, very pretty. These I'm gonna use on one of our projects today so you guys can see what they look like. They're very delicate, so when you're working with these, you wanna have light hands because they can rip easily. So the winner will receive a full package of the snowflakes, and these will ship out after August 3rd, both of the Prize Patrol items for today. Also included in this week's Prize Patrol is the new Blushing Bride frayed, it's grosgrain, I think it's grosgrain is how you say it, ribbon. So let me cut this open and I want to show you guys what this looks like. The winner will receive a full roll of this too, so you're not going to get my opened roll. But this has a really fun frayed edge to the outside of the ribbon in Blushing Bride, and it's part of this Whimsy and Wonder Suite. So the 2 Prize Patrol items for this week are the snowflakes and this Blushing Bride grosgrain frayed ribbon. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me, but I think it's grosgrain. Also in this suite is the Whimsy and Wonder 12x12 designer series paper. Now this, I definitely want you guys to see this iridescent on the paper, especially this one right here. You can really see the iridescent shine on this. This is a specialty designer series paper, and the catalog does not do this justice. It says it is got some shimmer and shine to it, but when you open it and you see this first piece of designer series paper with that holographic inlay in it, I was blown away. Like I said, the catalog does not do this paper justice because you cannot see the shimmer and shine from the paper catalog. I actually had a friend, another demonstrator, we were comparing what we had gotten from our pre-order, and she showed me this paper and I just fell in love, so I had to add it to my next pre-order as well. So the Whimsy and Wonder 12x12 designer series paper is part of this suite. So here's the entire suite. It has the Whimsical Trees stamp set, the Christmas tree dies. Now this is actually a 2-set die. So you have the outline of trees with this fun little decoration, and then you have different types of decorations for the Christmas trees. So this is the Christmas trees dies, and then you have the iridescent snowflakes, the Blushing Bride grosgrain. Okay, Lisa confirmed I am saying it correct. Grosgrain frayed ribbon, and the Whimsy and Wonder 12x12 designer series paper. Like I mentioned, all of this can be purchased individually. You can buy the bundle by itself, or you can buy the whole entire suite and get everything all with one item number. All right, our projects today are going to feature this stamp set and dies. I'm not going to feature the ribbon. I am going to feature the snowflakes, so we will have those on the cards today. Also, each week I create a free PDF that is found on my website, stampinblondie.com. You can download this and follow along with me, pair this free PDF with this video, and you can create your projects each week with me too. So on here, I have the item names, the item numbers, the prices, and the dimensions for the 2 projects that we're going to be creating today. Looks like I need to get some new toner here, but all of the items that are highlighted on here are new to the catalog. So I can't show you the inside of the catalog just yet, but I can show you the items that I'm using for our 2 projects. Now, speaking of our 2 projects, here they are. Mid-century modern is what it's called. Very retro 1950s with your pinks and greens and blues. Definitely non-traditional Christmas colors, but very fun to create. Now we are gonna work on this card first. Let me get a sip of water. All right, and this one features a mixture of both annual catalog products and new upcoming products as well. So let's go ahead and get these items out that we're going to need for this card. I have a piece of mint macaron cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in with this Evergreen Forest embossing folder. This is a 3D embossing folder from the annual catalog. It has 2 layers of trees. I hope you guys can see that on there with it being semi-opaque. Actually has 3 lines of trees here, and it's kind of sideways. So when you run it through your machine, you want to make sure that you have your embossing folder and your paper going the right direction of how you want your trees to be embossed. Now this is an embossing folder that you'll have to use your big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This will not fit in the mini one. And I have a piece of basic white cardstock. This is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. So it's gonna be the perfect mat size for our card here. So what I like about our Stampin' Up! Embossing folders, if I can hold it here, it has this black line down the side, and this is perfect for lining up your paper to make sure that it is straight. Now, some of our embossing folders, you definitely want to make sure that your image that you're embossing is going to be straight. So we've got our big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here today. And we're gonna work with platform number 1, our embossing folder. Now, when you run embossing folders through the machine, you always wanna put the hinge in first. So your hinge is gonna go towards the machine and your number 4 plate on top. And we're just gonna run that through, and it's gonna emboss our paper and give us an arm workout at the same time. Oh, that thing is heavy. All right, so we don't need that anymore. And here is our embossed trees. Now what's really fun about this embossing folder is that you can ink up one side, put your paper in and run it through, and it'll transfer the ink and the embossing at the exact same time. So it's a really fun technique to do with our embossing folders. Maybe I'll save that for another Technique Tuesday sometime. All right, I gotta find all my hardware here. So we're using our bone folder to crisp up our lines. Hi Diana, hi Kay, thank you for joining me this week. Let me make sure I got, you know, I just pile all my goodies over here and then it gets lost when I'm ready to, to put all my projects together. All right, I'm gonna use a Stampin' Seal adhesive on the back of this. And just 2 quick little lines of that would be perfect for laying down your embossed piece here. Now here is our piece of that Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper. Look at that shine. I just cannot get over that iridescent. Anything that is sparkly and like bright pink, I am totally down for that. So I'm gonna use a little bit of liquid glue on the back of this. I'm using liquid glue because on my embossed piece of paper here, it has those crevices and those grooves from embossing. And liquid glue is really going to adhere that to the card just a little bit better than tape runner. Now this is 1 1/4 by 4 1/4, and all those dimensions are on my free PDF that you can grab from my website. I pre-cut a piece of vellum cardstock from the Layering Circles dies. Now, if you are not too familiar with what the Layering Circles dies are, it's these. They come with both regular and scalloped edge circles, and you get 16 dies in here. And I am using this like this size here. It's the second to the biggest one on this size. I don't even know what size this is, but it is about 2 1/4 inches wide. Now I'm not gonna put my vellum down just yet because I want to do my stamping, and I'm gonna show you some tricks on how to adhere vellum without any adhesive showing. I've got a scratch piece of basic white cardstock, and we're going to use this big tree here and this smaller tree here from the Whimsical Trees stamp set. I love this set because it's traditional red rubber. While I love our photopolymer stamps, it's really nice just to get a really clean image with those red rubber stamps. Kind of takes us back there. Right, I've got my blocks, and I'm going to be using Misty Moonlight and Mint Macaron here. So we're going to use, or sorry, not Misty, Blushing Bride for this one. Misty's on our next card. Blushing Bride, and we're going to, let's bring in our card. We're going to stamp our smaller tree with Blushing Bride, and then our bigger tree is going to be Mint. And we're gonna stamp that here as well, just on a piece of scratch paper for that. We're gonna come in, I need to grab my die plates. Here we go. So we're gonna die cut these trees out with our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now a trick with these dies, because these Christmas trees have kind of the point of the evergreen on them, you really want to make sure that your dies stay in place as you run them through the machine. Now I'm going to take my dies and just a little bit of washi tape, and I'm going to place that right over the die in the paper. This will hold my die in place when I run it through the machine, and with washi tape it's not going to tear my paper. So just place that down, move everything out of the way because we're going to get our cut emboss machine back out, and this time we're going to die cut with it. So we're going to have different plates. The last one was just the base plate and the number 4 platform, so now we're going to use our platform, our number 2, and all of these have pictures, so you don't even have to remember which order they go in because it's all pictures and numbers. We've got our bottom plate, 2 trees, and we're gonna run it through. Now this is gonna make crunching and cracking noises. That's okay. It's die cutting the paper. It's not breaking the machine. It's just cutting the paper for you. And we have our 2 Christmas trees there. Now because we have that washi tape on there, you just want to slowly peel that off so it doesn't rip the paper. Sometimes if you pull washi tape off too fast, it can rip. So you just want to be careful. And pull that off slowly, and there's our 2 Christmas trees for our card. Put that in the view so you guys can see. And we're going to put our dies back so we don't lose them like I tend to do, looking all over the craft room for little dies. And with this, now we've got that vellum circle here. Now the best way to adhere vellum without it being seen is to put your layers first on top and then your adhesive on back. When you place your layer on the top, you can see exactly where you can place your adhesive on the back, and then there won't be any adhesive showing through. Vellum is very thin, and so if any adhesive that you put on there on the back, it's definitely going to show through. So we're gonna put our first tree down. Our second one here is gonna go right on top of that. And then like I mentioned, from that you can see exactly where to place your glue on the back, and you can do a little bit on the top and the bottom to really adhere your Christmas trees down. Okay, there we go. And just glue that right down to your card base. Now I also have a little piece, scrap of mint macaron cardstock. I'm gonna use mint ink on this too for some tone-on-tone stamping. I really like this sentiment that says, let your heart be light, especially with that iridescent iridescent designer series paper. It really just makes that sentiment stand out even more. So we've got our sentiment here on a scrap piece of mint, and we're going to take our scissors and just diagonally cut. I don't know what my dogs are going on about. I don't think my husband's home yet. And there is our sentiment for that. I like to use Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of that because it'll really make it stand out and pop. And I'm gonna put 2 on the back. Now before I place this down, what would be best for this project except some Wink of Stella glitter brush? So we're gonna put Wink of Stella glitter brush right on these trees here, and it's going to make the trees just sparkle and shine a little bit more. So it's gonna coordinate with that iridescent designer series paper. So just a little bit. And because this tree has squiggles to it, you can just squiggle the mint and really build that Wink of Stella on there to highlight the glitter. So I'm just coloring straight on it for a little bit of added shine onto the trees. May not come through on your end, but it's definitely sparkly on my side. All right, we're now gonna put our sentiment on here. I'm gonna overlap my tree and my designer series paper. And then a final touch for more sparkle. These are the Opal Rounds from the annual catalog. And these have more like shimmer and shine in them as well. So we're gonna do 2 of the Opal Rounds up here. And 1 more, I'm gonna put it down here this time. And that is our first project featuring the Wink of Stella glitter brush and some Whimsy and Wonder designer series paper, Opal Rounds, some really fun mid-century Christmas card, which doesn't feature really Christmas colors at all. Mint Macaron, Blushing Bride, these are 2 really fun colors that go perfectly together with this new stamp set coming in the July through December mini catalog. So let me know what you guys think. I really like this one. It's simple, it's easy, and you could really change the colors to be traditional Christmas colors if you wanted to. But I think the mint and the pink really just kind of switch things up for Christmas. All right, our next project today is one that's really fun. So this is called the Scrappy Technique, and it is perfect for you to use up any remaining scraps of designer series paper that you may have just kind of sitting around your house. So we are going to use a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock. Let me kind of clean up some of this stuff here. And this is actually an easel card, but we're gonna turn it to be like a little booklet here. So this features Misty Moonlight, Mint Macaron, and Polished Pink. Definitely not your traditional Christmas colors at all. So I have a 4 1/4 by 11 sheet of Misty Moonlight cardstock. It's your traditional 8.5 by 11, cut in half at 4 1/4 and scored at 5 1/2. And normally I make easel cards like this, and we're just gonna flip it and it's gonna become a booklet card. I have also a piece of 3 3/4 by 5 1/8 Mint Macaron cardstock, and we can go ahead and place that right onto our card base here. There we go. Now for this, we are going to take 3 pieces of that designer series paper, and these are cut to 4 7/8 by 3 1/2. So actually you could take this whole piece of designer series paper and mat it right on to your card, but this is just the 3 pieces that we are gonna use for our fun technique here. Now I want to show you how to do this. It's very simple and you don't need any specific skill level to put this together. So you're going to want to take your favorite trimmer. I'm using the Stampin' Up! Mini trimmer. This is not available anymore, but you can use our big trimmer too, so whichever trimmer you have. And you want to make sure that your designer series paper will be a little bit smaller than your mat size. And all you're going to do is you're going to take your paper and just angle it and chop. And then you're going to turn it to the other way and chop. And angle and chop and angle and chop. And that's it. You just flip your paper back and forth to make different angled cuts so that one side is larger than the other. So you've got all these different sizes here, and now we're gonna do that for our next one. Now our pink one we want to have more of, so we're gonna alternate these other two designer series papers with the iridescent on the outside, but we're gonna keep the pink one consistent in between all the others. So just take it and twist it, and it doesn't matter what size they are. So you can just twist it back and forth and just do whatever size you want. Like I mentioned, this is a great way to get rid of a bunch of different leftover scraps of designer series paper you may have. And then you just cut it back and forth. And then try not to cut your fingers off. I took the guard off my mini trimmer here, so I have to be very careful that I don't cut my fingers. All right, so just back and forth with the cutter. Yes, Connie, the video is stopping for everybody. It looks like my internet's having issues. After all this rain, everybody's having some internet issues, I think. It's been crazy. So we're gonna take our first piece of designer series paper and we're gonna lay it down. That's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna start there, and you're not gonna glue anything down just yet. So we're gonna take our alternating pieces and just lay everything out here. Oh, that's the end piece. We don't want that one. There we go. So your alternating pieces are now gonna fit in between here. You wanna make sure that your design on your paper, your designer series paper, is going the right direction. You don't want upside down designer series paper. And then you just alternate the papers back and forth, varying in between your pinks and your designer series paper. And then you can just go back and forth here. There you go. And then you find pieces that fit, that you randomly cut, that'll just fit right in. I don't like that one. So I'm gonna swap that out with this one here. And that's the best part. If you don't like a certain one, you can easily just swap it out with another, and then it'll all fit. And because you have a straight edge on one side, you can just fit all your papers and move them in between of where you want. All right, now we're gonna glue. So you're just gonna take a little bit of liquid glue as you go down here. Yes, Billy, it is fun. It's so cool. Like I mentioned, if you have lots of little scraps of designer series paper, this is the way to do it. And look at all these leftovers. I could create more projects with these leftovers that I chopped up. So if you have little bits of designer series paper and you're just like, I don't want to throw these away, they're too pretty, but I need to do something with them, this Scrappy Technique is the perfect way to do that. So we're just going to take our papers, and I got sticky on my hand, so I can just pick it up with my sticky hand. And then you just run along here and line your papers up. And that's it. That's all you have to do for this. Super simple, very easy, gets rid of a lot of loose paper, or you can just chop up new paper like I did. Our designer series paper is meant to be used, not hoarded. So as much as we love to collect paper and it's so pretty, we don't want to use it. What if we never find it again? But just think of all the pretty cards that you can make with these papers and share with other people. So make sure to use your designer series paper. I'm guilty of not wanting to cut some paper up because it's so pretty. I just want to save it forever. But then we run out of room in our craft room, and then we don't have room for new stuff. So make sure to use your paper, and then you can get new stuff later. All right, there is our background for our Scrappy Technique. And if you use that liquid glue, it gives you a few seconds to be able to kind of move stuff around. And look, we've got that really big iridescent piece right there in the middle. That's perfect. And then I have all these other leftover pieces that I can create more with later. All right, on here, now we're gonna work with the iridescent snowflakes. Now, I had mentioned before that these are very delicate. They actually come with tissue paper in between them so that they don't get stuck on each other, and they're really, really delicate. So you want to be careful when you pop these out that you don't rip them. And you get, let's see, 6, 12, you get 18 snowflakes in one pack, and these can be used as stencils too. I was debating on trying them as a stencil for tonight's Makers Monday, and I felt like, oh, that's kind of a Technique Tuesday. But these can be used as stencils. The best part that I noticed is, did anybody else see this? Let me grab this here. Does anybody else notice two things that are exactly the same size? So Stampin' Up! Put the back of the snowflake to be the exact same size as the Stampin' Dimensionals. So it is perfect to be able to put a Stampin' Dimensional on the back of the snowflake and have it fit in the same spot. So we're gonna move these snowflakes over so they don't get tangled in anything else. I have a piece of, just a spare piece of polished pink cardstock. Look how bright that is, perfect. And the polished pink actually matches the pink in this designer series paper. So I wanted to bring out that really fun, bright pink, and the stamp that says, may the love of the season warm your home and fill your heart. And we're gonna stamp that in Misty Moonlight. So this will really make it stand out from that polished pink. And we're going to use, this is the Tailored Tag Punch. This is a punch from the annual catalog, and it fits this sentiment perfectly. I always like to stamp first and then punch, so that way I can line everything up and make sure it's all center when I punch it out. We are going to take the back, let me close up. Ooh, looks like my Misty Moonlight's kind of getting everywhere. Gonna have to use a baby wipe and clean that up. Ooh, it's leaking. Yep, definitely gonna have to use a baby wipe here to clean all that Misty Moonlight off my hands. I don't know what happened. I haven't used that color. Maybe I used it in I took it somewhere and put it sideways. I don't know. This is a great punch. So this punch has been around for a while. I like the shape of it because you can do so many different backgrounds with this punch. But what we're gonna do is, let me dry my hands off a little bit. We're going to make sure the iridescent side is up, and we're gonna take a little bit of liquid glue on the back here, right in the middle. And we're gonna line up the points of the punch to the snowflake. Now, because that's just such a little tiny bit of adhesive right there, it's not very much, I'm gonna come in with some Scotch tape. Nobody sees the back of this, so you can use Scotch tape. Make sure your snowflake is lined up again, and then the Scotch tape will get in between the little snowflakes, and then that liquid glue will really hold it in the middle there. And this is Goldie, my really fun and trusty golden dachshund. All right, now we have our snowflake adhered with our tailored tag punch, and then we're gonna come in with Stampin' Dimensionals and just fill in the back of that. 2 dimensionals on this. You could use 1, but this tag is a little bit longer, so I like to do 2. And then we're just going to place that right in the middle there and embellish with those really fun opal rounds. If I can find them, here they are. So the opal rounds, again, bring a little bit of shimmer into that card. Not that it really needs a lot more of shimmer, but just a little something in the upper left-hand corner. And that is our second mid-century modern Christmas card featuring the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper and the Whimsical Trees stamp set and bundle from the upcoming July through December mini catalog. Now, if you may be wondering, why is it called July through December mini catalog but doesn't start until August 3rd, it's because Stampin' Up! Wanted to make sure that they had enough supplies in stock to be able to start the catalog. So it shifted back 1 month. So it's now August through December, but it's technically called the July through December mini catalog. All right, I'm gonna bring in our 2 cards from today. Let me know which one is your favorite. I still have to think that this Mint and the Blushing Bride card is my favorite, but this Scrappy Technique one creates a really fun background that's easy to create in seconds, as you guys saw. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed another week of Makers Monday, and I look forward to seeing you next week where I bring you some fun new products coordinating with Celebration. So as we meet next week, Celebration will begin the day after Makers Monday. So I look forward to showing off some of the fun products that are in Celebration that coordinate with our new upcoming mini catalog. I look forward to seeing you then, and I hope you guys have a wonderful and great week. Bye!